I spoke with Lana Nasebi, the UAE Minister of State at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and its former ambassador to the United Nations.
We've had an incredibly challenging 14 days. We're 2 weeks into this conflict that, as you said, we did not want to be drawn into. In fact, we were very engaged in diplomatic efforts prior to this escalation to try and avoid a conflict in the region. But now that it has happened, I think the UAE has demonstrated 2 or 3 things. First of all, that it prioritizes the protection, the security, and the well-being of its resident and Emirati population. Second, you've seen that our economy is very resilient. So people are back at work. We will have a bounce back in our economy this year. I have no doubt about that. It is a safe place to work and do business. And thirdly, you see that everyone has rallied around the model that is being attacked in the UAE and the Gulf as islands of stability and prosperity. No one is signed up to the model that Iran is propagating with its illegal and unlawful attacks on all the Gulf region, which have been egregious. I think the priority right now is defending the country against these attacks and ensuring it doesn't disrupt normal life. But of course, we have been preparing for various scenarios in a very turbulent region for decades. So these are not new plans. We have had contingency plans in place since prior to this point. I think they're coming in because they recognize that UAE interests are in fact global interests. They're, of course, the wider regional stability of Europe and the Eastern Mediterranean is incredibly important. But globally, the Straits of Hormuz, a fifth of the world's energy supplies, passes through that narrow waterway. And this has an impact on not only global energy prices, but global food security and food supplies. The UN has estimated that there's been an 18% increase in their ability to give aid to those most in need in terms of food insecurity, for example, as a result of this. So Iran must not be allowed to hold the global economy hostage by its rogue state behavior. I think fundamentally the red lines are the security, the prosperity, the well-being of our Emirati community and our expatriate community here. We consider all of them part of this country and they deserve our protection. So that is our red line. Don't touch this model.
On the final day of the Global Baku Forum, a panel on how to reset the international system. And many here are saying it's about time. Like 2 former leaders of what used to be the Balkan tinderbox criticizing the U.S.-Israeli war against Iran. The former president of Serbia slamming what he calls the wild side of history.
Iranian war is triggering a new crisis after Ukraine, involving second big power in the war. Right now, they can criticize each other, Russia, United States, Russia, because of dismantling international law, but can make big problems and a crisis in all regional countries. Even Azerbaijan can be affected very much.
A democratic opposition leader against the Milosevic regime, Tadic, criticizes the U.S.-led bombings of Serbia during the Kosovo War and other actions today.
When big powers are trying to conquer part of other sovereign countries or intervening like this, capturing presidents of other countries or killing presidents of other countries that are member states of United Nations. This is a disaster situation.
So what's the solution? Tadic says no way out without a UN-led reset.
The White House and Donald Trump, they are failing, underestimating Iran. They cannot finish that conflict within few weeks. This is not possible, and this is not likelihood solution of the current conflict. I think that we need interlocutors right now. We are bringing to the wild side of the history, and we have to come back to the international law, and this is only solution we can have. We have to enhance authority of United Nations, multilateral institutions.
And the former president of Croatia, who led his country to EU membership in 2013, fears a downward global spiral without a diplomatic solution.
Things like oil, as energy, like food. There are many people who are escaping, who are trying to escape from the war. It causes another problem. And it's a very, very huge humanitarian problem as well.
That's why he even fears a third world war.
This type of wars tend to generate new wars, especially when superpowers are interested in development, like Russia, like China, and the others. So I'm really afraid that the possible scenario is also the World War.
That's all for now as the Global Baku Forum wraps up with a war on its doorstep. Chris Burns, Euronews, Baku, Azerbaijan.